லாங்கர் வழங்கும் ஹார்மோனியா சீனியர் ரெசிடென்ஷியல் வில்லா ஸ்ரீபெரும்புதூரில் 68 லட்சம் முதல். தொடர்புக்கு 7200434445.
Very honored for that wonderful intro. At the outset, it's so lovely to see so many hearts, the same frequency here. Your Excellency, Mr. Arun Ravi, IPS Governor, thank you so much for accepting to come here, sir. As also Dr. Kamakodi, both of you have warmed the cockles of our heart. I would like to also thank senior people like Professor Chauhan is quietly sitting down. This man has been 8 times a Vice Chancellor, probably another national record. Next to him, Professor Murthy, the youngest man in our group, who at 84 is probably running around much more than any of us. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the BHU greats here, like Dr. Venkat Raghavan, Dr. Srinivasan, and of course, Venkat Nagarajan, who Andimari Pudikirudhu Mari Tamil Pudinjaru. So, our Tamil Pudinjavari, நம்ம தமிழை விட்டுட்டுருமா, நம்ம ஹிந்தியில் கொஞ்சம் புரியலாம். In 1998, there was a man who was dying in the United States. Advanced kidney failure, both his kidneys had packed up and he was dying. And looking at death, he wrote a few beautiful lines. Gauturo India. Maut ki umar kitna hai? How long does it take for you to die? Do pal. Skip to say nahi. Just 2 moments. Magar zindagi ek silsila hai. Life is a continuous process. வாழ்க்கை என்பது ஒரு தொடர்ச்சி, ஒரு தொடர்கதை. சிர்ஃப் ஆஜ்கல் கி நஹி. It's not just for today. இன்னைக்கு மட்டும் இல்ல. Then he said, मैं जी भर जिया और मन से मरूं. முழு மனத்துடன் வாழ்ந்தேன், முழு மனத்துடன் சாக போகிறேன். जरूर वापस लौटूंगा. கட்டாயமா திருப்பி வர போறேன். कुछ भी से क्यों डरूं? பின்ன ஏன் நான் பயப்பட போறேன்? The man who wrote it was none other than the man whom we played the floral tributes to, our one and only great Atal Bihari Vajpayee. A man who was fearless in the face of death. And of course he survived, came back and then lived for another 19-20 years. But today I stand before you to tell you what we as Youth for Nation have a fantastic team here. We have Ramki, we have Haripanji, we have Arvindji who's heading us, GS Murthy. What are we going to do? What is this tamasha all about? Many of you will be thinking, is this a one-night show? Is it a one-day program? No. Today, in Tamil Nadu alone, in a state of 8.12 crore people, we have 1.93 crore youth. We have the largest demographics of youth in India. 65% of India is less than 35 years. And 50% is less than 25 years, which probably makes the stage among the oldest cohort in the country. Every one of us, including me. We have such a young youth. I see so many young, bright faces there. He who controls the youth controls the future of the land. One of my great heroes said that, Swami Vivekananda, to whom I will be frequently referring to here, because in Youth for Nation we believe that what we need to do for the youth is they've got universities, they've all got cell phones. Whether the parents have cell phones or not, the children have got cell phones. They've got gaming, they've got everything, they've got malls, they've got movies. What do they need? They still need the 3 great things that Swami Vivekananda said that they need, the 3 H's, the H3 formula. They need heads to think. They need to think out of the box. As an example, when Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishnananda, Raghunathananda, they struggled to the court case and got the Belur land, Mutt, to start Belur Mutt. At that time, plague broke out in 1896, 1897 in Calcutta. Swami Vivekananda said, sell the land. We will look after the people. They said, we fought so much. We need to hold the land. He said, no. Humanity is more important than any mutt. He made a famous statement. And of course, luckily they saved the mutt. But that is the kind of head to think. 2, second H, what we hope to go around and cultivate in our youth is a heart to feel. It is not enough for us to be human beings. But as Swami Vivekananda wrote in 1998, in a letter from Osaka, Japan, he wrote, it is important. If one thing I can tell you, my dear children, learn to be human. So it's not enough to be a human being. We must learn the art of being human. And for that, we need to get these boys involved in Seva Bharati, Get them involved in orphanages, get them involved in food distribution and blood donation. Move them away from the I, me, mine cycle. So that's what we all intend to do in this Youth for Nation. A third H, like a heart. You have a head, but you need some people to think and they will feel, but they will do nothing, especially our voters. So you need hands to work. You need to go out there and help the needy, help the hungry, help the homeless. So first earn and then use that earning to help people. Beautifully, Valluvar said, தாளாற்றி பெற்ற பொருள் எல்லாம் தாளாற்று காலை யூஸ் பண்ணி நடந்து ஓடி சண்டை போட்டு நீ சம்பாதிச்ச பொருள் எல்லாம் தக்கார்க்கு வேளாண்மை செய்தல் பொருட்டு. Use it and give it to the right people, and that's what we hope to inculcate in them. Again, Swami Vivekananda's message to the youth, he said all the youth need to know you only need to do 3 or 4 things. You need to do man making. We need to make men, not boys, men. We need to do life building, and we've got with us people like Major Madan who go around to speak about what he can do in the army. We have people like General Rajiv Krishnan here, generals, so many generals to talk to them. Trainers like Chidambaramji. We have people like Sundaram Seshadri, IT people. All this is part of our man-making scheme, life building scheme, to give them chances to hold on and to fight on in life. And finally, assimilation of ideas. I always like to talk in terms of physics. A scalar force is our Indian youth. Huge scalar force. One cinema actor puts one song, 10 million views. It is not, I don't think any of us here are going to be putting again and again and checking that song again and again. It's the youth. It's a scalar force. And we believe it's our duty, having been born as Indians, to convert that scalar force into a vector force by giving it a sense of direction. That, I think, is what we really need to. In 1963, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the second president, came here to open a statue of Swami Vivekananda. Came all the way down south. And they asked him, why? You're a teacher. Vivekananda was a teacher. You're an orator. Vivekananda was an orator. You're all same in every way. And Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, so beautifully, like a bullet, he's supposed to have answered, no. Me and all the other writers and so-called presidents, we all exist in the soil of India. But Swami Vivekananda lives in the soul of India. That is the answer of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. And we want to teach people. We have a wonderful country. பாருக்குள்ளே நல்ல நாடு பாரதியார். இங்க டாஸ்மாக் எல்லாம் பார்த்தா பாருக்குள்ளே நல்ல நாடு ஆயிடுச்சு. We need to teach them that life is a constant struggle. And for that, we have so many of our people sitting here. Vivekananda said every youth must know that whenever you come up with an idea, you can be a startup. We have Mr. Muniratnam, who's here, who has trained 200, 300 entrepreneurs. Life, when you start, there will be ridicule. Then there will be opposition. And finally, acceptance. Fight till you get that acceptance, said Swami Vivekananda. And that is what we want to teach our boys. We want to teach them that people will throw stones. Take those stones and build yourself a nice house. The hands that throw the stones will get tired and then they will start clapping. This is what we need to imbue to the spirit of youth. In the last 1 year, we've stopped so about 15 to 20,000 people, and we hope to carry on this job all over. We want to teach them, Bharadiyar sonna mari, இச்சகத்திலோரெல்லாம் எதிர்த்து நின்ற போதிலும் அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சம் என்பதில்லையே, to be fearless absolutely even in the face of death. பச்சையூனி 5 பேர் படைகள் வந்த போதிலும் அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை அச்சம் என்பதில்லை, உச்சி மீது வான் இடிந்து வீறுகின்ற போதிலும் அச்சமில்லை 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 என்பதில்லையே. That is what we want to teach every student in Tamil Nadu and all over India. To finish, Swami Vivekananda's famous letter to youth saying, remember always and tell yourself every day that strength is life, weakness is death. There will be death all around us. As doctors, we see death all the time. There will be death, and we should go beyond that. I want to finish my speech again by quoting the great Atal, Bihari, Vajpayee. He talked about death, and this is what we want to do to our youngsters. We want them to build character and a sense of this is my land. And I will translate as I go along for the sake of the Tamil people in English or in Tamil. He said, Bharat koi tukda nahi hai. We are not a fragment of a land. Ye ek jeeta, jagta, rashtra purush hai. This is something that breathes, lives and wins. It's a rashtra purush. It's a human being in national form. He says, ye arpan ki dharti hai, ye tarpan ki dharti hai. This is the land, this is the mud of arpanam, of offerings. This is the land of tarpan, what we do for our ancestors. And then he said, ye vandan ki bhumi hai. ये अभिनंदन की भूमि है. This is our land, Bharat, land of blessings. This is our land of आशीर्वाद. And Abhinandan, and he said, इस भारत देश के लिए हम जिएंगे, we will live for this country. और इस भारत देश के लिए हम मरेंगे, we will die for this country. And that is what we want every boy to do. He can be a startup, he can be an army soldier, anything. And finally, the last two lines which Vajpayee said so beautifully. और मरने के बाद, after we die, गंगा जल बहती हुई हमारी अस्थियां, the ashes of ours which are flowing in the Ganga. If anybody puts his ear and listens, koi kaan lagakar sunega. If he just said, what will he hear? I'm sure all of you know what the answer is. Ek hi awaaz aayegi. Just one voice will come, and that voice is Bharat Mata ki Jai. Jai Hind. Thank you all very much. This is what we intend to do over the next year or two with the Youth for Nation all across the state. Thank you all for a good listening, and we are very honored by the presence of our governor and everybody else here. Thank you all.
ஸோ இந்த குருவோட சேர்ற கிரக இணைவுகளில் எந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஜாதகர்களுக்கு பலன் கிடைக்கும்?
பொதுவாக வந்து நிறைய விஷயங்களை தெரிஞ்சுக்க விரும்புவாங்க, தனக்கான அங்கீகாரம் வேணும்னு நினைப்பாங்க, ஆளுமை பண்பா இருக்கணும்னு நினைப்பாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி ஆன்மீகம் மற்றும் ஜோதிடம் சார்ந்த இன்னும் பல வீடியோக்கள் பார்க்கணுமா? மறக்காம திருவருள் டிவிக்கு சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. திருவருள் டிவியுடைய சேனல் லிங்க் இந்த வீடியோடைய டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு.